welcome to Focus on Finance. I'm Melanie Parker. Focus on Finance is brought to you by the Consumer Education Division of the Right Legacy Group. We're going to jump right in. We've got 23 minutes to talk to this lovely lady, Miss Tanya Seabrooks. Tanya, I don't even know how to define you. I know you're a Radcliff City Councilwoman.
Yes.
What else? I mean, I don't even know where to start.
Wow. Where does it begin? Okay, so Radcliff City Council is one of my
hats.
Yes. We'll say hats.
Hats.
I'm also a mortgage loan originator for
Okay.
Citizens Union Bank.
Right.
That's my 9 to 5.
I knew there was something. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
My 9 to 5. And then, I'm a small business owner. I'm an owner of Monet Event Management and Public Relations.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And then other than that, I'm just a
I know I
happy woman.
see you everywhere. And there's no putting Tanya Seabrooks in a box.
No.
So we were at a meeting together recently, and that's what sparked this interview.
Okay.
Because one of the topics at the Radcliffe Small Business Alliance meeting was soft skills.
Yes.
And interviewing strategies and those types of things with our youth.
Yes.
And there are some concerns.
Yes.
The lack of soft skills, and let's define soft skills.
Soft skills is anything approaching as far as a response to questions. Anything such as, the please and thank you, how to introduce yourself, how to understand customer service, when someone is asking you a question, how to answer it. Just things, the nature to take away the technology and be able to interact one-on-one.
Right. The socialization.
It's socialization.
Yes.
Unfortunately, our youth, they're at a disadvantage because we are allowing technology to override the interaction personally.
Right.
And the personal touch is going away for them. The problem is it's hard for them to adapt in a workplace or even in a social setting.
Right.
So you have more, I guess some of our young people are stemming more into an introverted role, not on their own accord, but just due to the fact, hey, I like to text. I prefer that. I prefer to be isolated. I prefer to be in a situation where I don't have to be in a large group.
Right, and can do it in your jammies.
Yes, and so the preference is now, this is what I prefer, opposed to what is the norm. And so what we have to do as corporate America, as employers, we have to look for ways to be able to engage them, to get them to understand how this all works. Soft skills to me, this is my definition, it's not the definition.
Right.
What we consider to be common sense in our generation is now a soft skills class. So we have to teach about how to interact and engage. I encourage the parents, start having conversations with your children. It's something simple from, hey, we need the new garbage disposal installed. Can you call and make that appointment for us to get them, used to the fact of, hey, this is how we conduct business over the phone. This is how you ask for help. Just little small tidbits in the home. Ask a question about how was your day, and make sure they're answering you with more than a one-word answer. And this is for your high schoolers.
Right.
Yeah, your young people. They're in a situation where they have to learn 200 words per school year. And how to use them in a sentence and understand what they mean. We need to actually move that up to your high schoolers to make sure they're using 200 words and how they're engaging in a full conversation, subject, predicate. So just little things like, hey, can you get the garbage fixed? Or hey, can you check on a mechanic for us? We're looking for a mechanic. Can you get us 3 quotes?
And no phones at the dinner table.
No phones at the dinner table.
That's a huge one for me.
Exactly.
Even my children are adults now.
Yes.
Still, no phones at the dinner table.
And that is law. But you said something that just is so critical. Now, you all sit together at the dinner table and eat.
Right.
How many people do that now?
Yes.
So systematically, things have changed. Now, in my when I grew up, that we all ate it between 5:30 and 6. Dinner was on the table. We all sat there together. We ate.
And you ate what was on the table?
You ate what was on the table. There was no options. Now, this new thing, my parents are now grandparents, so now they have all these options. I'm like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I'm a grandparent. Guilty.
So you fall prey into that.
Right. Yes.
But even now, at my mother's, if I go to my mom's house and we're all over for Sunday dinner or over there for holidays, the first thing she says to all of us, put your phones away. This is my time.
It's respect. It's respect for the cook.
I want to hear from you. Yes.
It's respect for everyone's time. It's respect for the meal.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you there.
And she said, I want all of your time. I want it.
Yes.
I want it. She doesn't get it all the time.
And she deserves it.
She does. That's mom.
That's right.
That's mom.
And what she has done by doing that has created those skills.
Yes.
Those conversation skills
exactly.
that a lot of our young people and some of the older people who maybe haven't been finding themselves looking for a new job after being 10, 15, 20 years at one position, going in and they're lacking those interview skills.
They are, and we want them to feel encouraged and empowered at the same time.
Yes.
You know, I was listening to a motivational speaker, Jay McCord. He did a presentation. It was awesome. He said this is the first time in forever that there's 4 generations in the workplace at the same time.
Wow.
And we need to learn how to adapt one to another.
Sure.
So it's not just the millennial, there's a Gen Xer, which, you know, we are, and then you have the baby boomers, and then you have the traditionals.
Right.
And how we all engage.
More and more.
Yes. And we need to know how to engage.
Yes.
And when he mentioned that, I said, wow, that is a good way to look at it. So, you know, baby boomers and traditionals, they're more into tradition, and they're also into respect.
Absolutely.
They want to feel like you don't wipe me off because you feel like I'm too old.
Right.
And
regardless of their position.
Regardless, yes. So
you respect your elders.
That's it.
No matter what their job is.
Exactly.
That's just the way it should be.
And it should be. You know, that should be a mantra. So when you look at the different resources that we have available locally, I encourage people to take advantage of them because they're so critical.
Right.
You may not have the time to do some of the things that we have resources out there to help you do. So I want to bring that more awareness out there. We're so fortunate. The Kentucky Career Center, they have a plethora of resources that are available to, yes, and they're free resources. Free. Who doesn't love that?
Right.
Who does not love that?
That is so in my budget.
Yes, so in the budget, you know, and you know, they have partnered with some great people to make sure that we have an opportunity to get our workforce up and vibrant.
Right. It just takes a little bit of initiative.
That's all it takes.
Literally.
That's all it takes.
Do you go online? Do you call? Or can you just show up there?
Yes.
Do they have a preference? They have folks there where you can physically just show up?
They have They have people there that are ready and willing to help.
Wonderful.
I've visited the Career Center on a number of occasions, and they are amazing. Carter Dyson is the director there, and he does an awesome job with his team. He has a beautiful team, and I always say you can always tell how well the team functions by looking at the leader.
Sure.
And they're great leadership over there, and they take each person, they treat them like an individual.
Nice.
No one's talking down to you, but they're just looking to address the concerns that you have. So if you are unemployed, they have resources and they have subject matter experts to help you.
Great.
If you're looking for a position, they have, again, subject matter experts. They have allotments of open positions, what they're requiring.
Really?
All of that is there.
I had no idea.
They have a website, it's Focus Talent.
Focus Talent.
Where it's free for employers to post their positions on there.
Really?
Free. You know, so you don't have to pay for the traditional career sites, but you can actually go and post those jobs.
So that's a good resource for employers looking for potential employees
Yes.
as well. Totally opposite side of the coin. I had no idea. Interesting.
Exactly, because they can do a funnel search and they can stream it down to what they're looking for and see if these people qualify.
That is amazing.
But yes, and this is through the state. You know, again, free.
Right.
You know, that's a beautiful tool that they have. They've also partnered with the Skills U, which is the GED testing center, and they do a plethora of other things. Diane Kelly is the director there. Amazing.
Really?
Her team, amazing. And
no excuse to be unemployed in Hardin
No
County.
excuse.
There
No
really
excuse.
isn't. Right.
Because and the reason why I stress that the leadership teams are amazing, because they literally care when people are not working.
It's a big deal.
And when you have the heart for people, it shows.
Yes.
So they love on you. They like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is our process.
They really want to see you succeed.
They do. They got
Awesome.
the Department of Voc Rehab. They all work together. So these are all resources that are in the Kentucky Career Center that you can get to. With the Skills U, they have interview techniques. They teach. They have a workshop on how to interview. They also talk about, the dress, things that you can wear. They have a closet.
That's a big one.
Yes.
That was actually brought up at that
Yes.
RSBA meeting that we both attended.
Exactly.
That the lack of a appropriate attire.
Professional appearance.
And we want to be fair.
Yes.
People are products of their environment.
They are.
And a young person may not have the resources to have a business suit. to go in and conduct an interview. So, and one thing that Dr. Pate from HCEC-TV stressed
awesome.
and impressed me, and he's right, you also, as an interviewer, want to look at the potential.
Yes.
Now, if they don't have the fanciest of clothes, but they're clean and they conduct themselves in a way that you can tell that they have initiative, you know, maybe look past a little bit of the lack of soft skills or the lack of the proper attire and look at the potential of the interviewee. But then on the other side, if someone comes in, like someone said, with a cigarette hanging out of their mouth and extremely inappropriate clothing, that is something that does need to be looked at, in all fairness to the interviewer.
And you know, you make a great point, but do you remember when we were growing up, there was a term, Sunday best?
Yes.
So you wear your Sunday best when you go to a job interview.
Right.
That's what we grew up with.
Yes.
The funny thing now, if you've noticed in most churches, they have a come as you are approach now, because they don't want you to have to feel like you have to get dressed up. So taking that mindset, so if the churches have adjusted, so why wouldn't we adjust? And we have to understand, especially with a small business owner, this is one of the things I've been saying, you know, we're going to take on a role as a mentor, believe it or not. We're going to take on the role as a mentor, so be prepared, because and it's really a cool thing, because when you're a mentor, you really get to pour into them. You actually getting to mold them a little bit and give them some tidbits, some things that you've learned along the way. And a lot of people like to give back and put into a young person and see them carry on and do things great. And I love when Dr. Pate mentioned that you coach on potential.
Yes.
And when you do that, you're getting a chance to shape someone's life.
Yes.
And that's what we all want to be. We want to be game changers for our young people. And we have an opportunity to do that. Don't dismiss them. And I know sometimes they can be dismissive as well. And I teach them that too. When I go to the schools, it's always, do not negate the ability to be around wisdom.
Oh, I like that.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna have to post that on Facebook.
Yes, when you're around good wisdom, and I love to hear some great stories. And you know, we all have people that we can go to, you know, in the workforce and just say, "Hey, what do you think?"
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. I have mentors in the political arena.
Yes.
You know, and they found me, I found them, whatever the case may be. But I saw successful women doing what I do.
Right.
So I said, "Hey, let's talk." You know,
and you plug into that resource.
And you just get right in.
Yes.
I have mentors in the workforce, you know, for my mortgage business. I have mentors in event planning. I have mentors all over.
Absolutely.
Because you need that wisdom. There are people who have walked the line that we've never or may never have to walk. So if we can avoid any pitfalls, let's do it.
Right.
And let's use these resources. And that's what I see with the Kentucky Career Center. That's what I see with Skills U and Department of Voc Rehab and so many countless others. They're actually standing there saying, "Hey, we want to help. Just come."
Right. And people just don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
So, and that's why we're here.
Oh, yes.
To share that information. When you stood up at the RSBA meeting and started saying, here's a plethora of resources in our community free, I thought, I have to have this lady on the show.
Oh,
because
my gosh, yes.
we need to do everything we can to share that information. And then there will be no excuses.
None.
You can go for free, you can call, you can go online.
Yes.
Or you can drive over there, you can walk over there. But there are folks out there who really want to see people succeed, not just our youth, but our seasoned people as well. Some folks, we do a lot at the Right Legacy Group with Social Security workshops and those types of things.
Yes.
So when folks, they've had their 40-year career and they've retired, but they've worked for 40 years, and now what? And maybe they're bored with golf, or they're bored with gardening, and and they don't get to see the grandkids every day.
Right.
How do they fill their time? And that's why we're seeing a lot of really seasoned folks back in the workforce.
Oh, yes.
And it is a totally different world.
Oh, yes.
Where they're going from where they came from, and they're content with something simple and to fill their time and maybe work a little bit with their budget, but they need help too.
They do.
So if they go to, a lot of folks now you have to go online to apply for a job.
Yes.
You don't even get that face-to-face off the bat. That's not the initial interaction. So can the folks at these places help these seasoned people?
Yes, they
come
can.
in and
Yes, they
I think
can.
about my mom and dad. They're retired and they're not in the market, but my dad especially, he doesn't even have a cell phone.
Yeah.
I can't. My dad would not be able to go online and do a job resume. There's no way. Or I would do a resume for him, but to apply for a job,
it'd be a little difficult.
Yeah, that would be tough for him.
Well, good news. Yes, at the Kentucky Career Center, they have multiple computers, and they have the informational sheets of how to walk you through it, and they have people that are there ready and willing to help you.
Sure.
You have Fernando Arroyo. There's just so many countless people that come to mind, Lynette, that are ready to help you. Real people, and they talk to you as a person.
Awesome.
So no one is feeling like they're talking down to them, and they walk you through it. You take as long as you want, but the computers are there. And then they offer at Skills U, they have computer classes.
Oh.
Free computer classes, teaching you how to get acclimated to the computer, keyboarding, Excel, PowerPoint, all these different things that are necessities, but you don't have to pay for these resources.
I might do that just to touch up.
Yes.
I can squeak by on PowerPoint, but I would love to learn more.
Well, Excel is not my favorite. I mean, there's certain things I can do, but it's not my favorite.
And Access, it's been years
I haven't
since
touched
I've done
Access in years.
Yes, I don't even know if
they use it?
I don't know.
Do they use it?
I don't know.
But I'm a pro at Outlook.
Yeah, there you go. Google Calendar.
Google Calendar. I got it. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So we want people to know, even in this day in society, there are still opportunities for you to continue to learn. And as long as you're teachable, it goes back to you being teachable. You have to be open-minded. You have to be open. But if you're saying, I don't see why I have to do that, and you have a negative connotation toward it, you may not get what you need, and then you'll have a different approach toward it.
Sure.
But for the one that really wants to succeed in this 2018, no matter what the case may be, you will find a way to get out there and take advantage of those resources.
Absolutely. And as far as it goes, attire for an interview, I mean, I'm just going to put this out there.
Oh yeah.
My fellow, we go to Goodwill, and he gets all of his polos and all of his nice khakis at Goodwill. We can dress him head to toe for $10. Seriously.
Exactly. It was a guy that ran for public office this year. A younger guy, and he's what because he classified himself as a millennial. It was really cool. And he said, I got this nice suit, because everybody was telling him how nice he looked. He said, I got this from Goodwill. I paid less than $5. But, and that's the thing. We are a little bit cautious about where we want to buy our clothes at. But the truth of the matter is, the Goodwill is where people in the community have donated clothes.
Right.
So if you've seen somebody with some really nice clothes, more than likely they've cleaned out their closet. I mean, because I donate to Goodwill all the time, and I get compliments all the time on things that I wear, but I donate all the time. And you donate.
I need to come see what you're going to donate before you donate.
Okay, next time I'll call you. I'm like,
okay.
I'll call you next time. I'm like, girl, I'm getting rid of shoes today. Getting rid of shoes. I know, that's what I'm like. I'm getting rid of shoes today. Today's your day. But that's what you have to understand, that it shouldn't have such a negative connotation. Helping Hands of Hope.
Yes.
Helping Hands is a
wonderful resource in our community.
Free.
Yes.
And they're waiting, and it's amazing, because we go to several fundraisers and we go to several different events, and everyone's talking about, let's give to these organizations. We give to them, but the problem is they're ready, but they don't have the people to come in. Right. So they're like, how do we get the word out? And social media is one thing. We do write-ups in the paper. We're now on TV. And we're doing everything shy of literally just driving to your house and just picking you up.
Right. And we could probably find that.
We could probably find it. I mean, we're resourceful.
Give us 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll get it. Like, okay, well, I'll just go pick up these people on the street.
I know United Way
my gosh.
Amazing when it comes to assistance. And not just families, but individuals, what their needs are. I've spoken with their director, Megan Stith.
Oh, I love.
Yes, and she talks about, we talked about folks who are willing to work, because I'm guilty. I was one of those people, hiring. Why don't you have a job? There's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. And she really set me straight, and I'm glad, because there's lack of child care, which is a huge one. I raised 3 kids by myself. I remember transportation. There are issues. Some folks don't know how to get their birth certificate.
Exactly.
So that they can get a Social Security card, and all of these things that you need. There's so much more to it than you being an able-bodied person. So United Way is huge about helping folks tap into the resources and get what they need to get them in the workforce.
I have to give special kudos to the entire team at United Way. Megan Stith was amazing as far as just the approach that they've taken.
Yeah.
I actually serve on the workforce subcommittee. It's a workforce crisis subcommittee with Megan Stith, Danielle Lovell from WKU, Diane Kelly, Carrie Mears from the Kentucky Reentry. They care,
yeah,
and we are so excited about the conversations that we're having in our region concerning how to assist with childcare, transportation, any other barriers that they may have. Of course, I've worked extensively with felony expungement.
Wow.
A lot of people are not familiar as to what that entails with felony expungement, because they're thinking, hey, if someone commits a murder, we're going to let them off. That's not true.
Right.
So for anybody that's out there, we need to destroy the myth about what is getting expunged. What I'm having an issue with is someone who had a check writing problem at 18 and they're 35 and they still can't find a job for a felony that's on their credit report. They may not be able to work in a financial institution, but there's several other places that they can work.
Right.
Do you want them working, or do you want them sitting at home taking assistance from your money?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah. I take
Which
plan A.
one? Yes. And then
Option
even,
A.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you got, then we have the conversation that I'm so happy that we're having it now, is ex-users. Once they're done with rehab, they're still human.
Yes.
Let's
they
get
still
them,
have to eat.
They have to eat. So let's get them back to work, and so they can feel like
do
a person.
we want them to work, or do we want them on assistance?
Which one? Yeah, which one? We got to pick the battle here.
Yeah.
So
we're a judgmental society.
We are judgmental.
Yeah, we really need to work on that.
A lot. That's why I always say dominate in love. Love more.
Right.
And here's something that we need to remember. We've all done something dumb in our life. We do it. I mean, probably
something. Are you kidding? I've got quite a list.
I mean, and I have a list too. So
Right.
the difference between them and us is that they got caught up in something. We didn't.
Very good point.
So if we look at ourselves a little bit more under that radar that we hold so highly for other people, I think that'll break down the stigmas and the stereotypes of what you think they may be going through.
Wonderful.
People handle issues totally different, but they're still people, and we need to figure out a way to continue to allow them to be in society, and we are still working, and we're contributing.
Right.
I want to see people back into contributing into our community. It's ours.
Yes.
If no one else has pride in our community, it should be us.
Right. So I guess, wow, so much good information. I guess the bottom line would be, if you are an interviewer, have an open mind.
Yes.
Look for potential, and know that person, if they're coming to that interview and they don't have the greatest of clothes, they may want it more than anyone.
Yeah.
They may want it more than anyone, looking for that chance, somebody just to give them a chance.
Yes.
And if you are the interviewee, bring your game face.
Yes.
Be prepared.
Yes.
Do some research on the company and really know yourself and your self-worth when you walk through that door, and it will shine through.
It will.
You may not have a new pair of shoes on, but that confidence will show.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the work ethic.
Yes.
I think that's that's more important to me. Will you come to work? Will you show up?
Be on time. Be consistent.
Yes.
Be professional.
That's more about that soft skill. Yeah. Again, we call it common sense, but it's now soft skills. You're like, I thought you come on time.
It's a thing now.
It's a thing, you know.
Yes.
So
wonderful.
Yeah. So let's look and see what we can do, Melanie, to continue to shape. And thank you so much for allowing me to come on the show.
Always a pleasure.
Oh,
I was so
yes.
excited when you said yes. Easy breezy.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Easy
great.
for Melanie.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
I'm
for
afraid
having
we're
me.
out of time. I think we could probably talk another hour.
Oh, we could.
But we'll have to do it off camera.
We'll do it off camera.
All right. I'm Melanie Parker with Tanya Seabrooks. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you on Focus on Finance next month.
Yes. Thank you.
I consider it an honor to be able to work with my father. It's always a unique experience, not only having been raised by him, but now working alongside of him. I get to see how consistent he is. The principles that he raised me with, I get to see him work out every day and live out in the way that he works with clients, as well as the way that he leads the business.
3 decades ago, I went on my own, home-owned shingle. When you do that, you're taking a lot of risk. That's what entrepreneurs do. But I came to a point in life that I got tired of trying to live by other people's rules, there's a higher standard of the rules that I want to live by and raise my family by.
I saw the way that he was able to just build relationships with those that he was working with. You could just tell that what he was doing made a difference. And that's something that I wanted to be a part of.
The word legacy is a word that's been around a long time. Legato, I think, is where it actually, the root of the word there. The Bible says that a wise man leaves a legacy, an inheritance to his children's children. So in our planning, we are trying to make sure that people are not only living and take care of their needs of their family today, but are creating a long-lasting effect so their children and their grandchildren can have a better life and a better future. The Right Legacy Group is a combination of advisors that can provide individualized, tailored plans to families, teenagers, the millennials, the Gen Xers, Gen Yers, and the seniors that we love so much.
A legacy is how you're remembered. A legacy is who people see you are and what your values are. It's not just monetary, it's about who you are and what defines you.